Hello again, this is JC Ministries and I'm Minister Chad Davis and this is my lovely wife Jasmine Davis, and we're so excited to be talking to you today about our real and relevant conversation, distractions. And remember, our focal question as always is, are you rooted? The topic for today comes from the scripture Matthew chapter 14 verse 25 through 31, and it reads, "Now in the fourth watch of the night Jesus went to them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, 'It is a ghost.' And they cried out of fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, 'Be of good cheer. It is I. Do not be afraid.' And Peter answered him and said, 'Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water.' So he said, 'Come.' And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw that the wind was boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, 'Lord, save me.' And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said, 'O you of little faith, why did you doubt?'"
Why did you doubt? That's an awesome story. I think that I'm really excited that we're having this discussion about distractions. One of the reasons why I like this topic is because I do think that it is a very real and relevant topic. I think that no matter what stage of life you're in, we all have distractions. And we could all be distracted by a lot of different things. Some distraction that I know we go through is we can struggle with addictions, maybe pornography. You could be distracted by your past or maybe a bad upbringing or a certain hurt, something that really hurts you. You could be distracted by your enemies or distracted by society. We're distracted by self a lot of times. We could even be distracted by a bad relationship. I remember one time when my husband was preaching, he preached this sermon saying how we make it hard for God to bless us with a new boo because we still worried about our old boo. And so even bad relationships can really distract us sometimes. And so another thing that I think that happens with us is even when you have good intentions, you can still wind up distracted. For example, Facebook. I don't know how many times I've had a really good intention of getting on Facebook and my news feed is filled with lots of negativity, whether it's a fight or, etc. And so I think that distraction is a very real and relevant topic. So the question here today is this: why do you think we get distracted so easily?
I believe there are a number of reasons why people get distracted, but I'll be honest with you. I believe one of the top reasons is that people don't love God like they say they love God. Just like our conversation last week. Not only do we serve people love out of a trash can, we try to serve God love out of a trash can also. Another reason is like the passage of scripture for today. Peter was walking on water, but he got distracted by the wind. In today's time, we get distracted by what makes the most noise in our life. Like our bills, or a bad relationship, or our children. Whatever is making the most noise in our life, and we get distracted taking our eyes off of Jesus. And I heard one day, the more we focus on our problems, the more we praise our problems. And whatever we praise will be magnified in our life.
So basically, when we focus more on our problem than our promise, then our problem looks really big. But if we focus less on our problem and more on our promise, then our problem will look small. So the question is this: how do we minimize the focus on our problem so we can magnify the focus on our promise?
That question leads us back into our focal question of, are you rooted? Have you ever seen a free throw shooter at the free throw line and the opposing crowd is doing everything that they can, yelling, screaming, causing all types of distractions, wanting the free throw shooter to miss the shot? The same way in life, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he does everything in his power, yell, scream, cause confusion, because he wants you to miss some of the things that God has for you in your life. But before the shooter even got to the free throw line, he put in the time, effort, and energy at practice. And the same way in our life, we have to put in the time, the effort, and energy on this Christian walk. So when the distractions come, we'll be prepared.
Wow, that's awesome. That really leads me into giving out a challenge. And the challenge is this. I want you to get a blank sheet of paper. And over the next few days, I want you to write down what it is you have thought most about. And then I want you to ask yourself, is it a distraction? Thank you so much for tuning in to our conversation on distractions. We are completely open to your feedback. So follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share our posts. Thank you so much.
Again, if you have any questions, concerns, or prayer requests, please contact us at jcministrymovement@gmail.com. Again, that's jcministrymovement@gmail.com. Have a blessed day.
Deuces.